Hello, this is Megan with Morphic Field. Today is day 17 of 28 for the 28-day meditation constellations, which are support constellations. And at any time you can follow along to these constellations. So everyone can have should have their tabletop in front of them. Post-its, little pieces of paper are fine, and a pen. I'm going to flip my camera so that you can see my tabletop. And we will begin. All right. We're going to do a constellation that was recommended. And we'll just begin by placing ourselves into the field, getting focus. Let's get focus. Writing me on a Post-it. With that arrow, that's the direction in which you're facing. And let's just go ahead and place ourselves in the field here. Placing ourselves in front of us, looking out. Place your hand on me and let's drop into the field. Let's get really present with me. Bringing your awareness to your present experience of you. Noticing what you're noticing in your awareness, your consciousness. Becoming aware of the body that you are housed in. From your head, traveling all the way down to your feet. Feeling your feet on the ground. Feeling connected to the earth, supported by what you're sitting on. Just drop your shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Letting go of anything from prior this morning, but today, just letting that out. Becoming really present. Noticing the awareness in your head space, your mind, the thoughts. And traveling down to your heart. Opening up this heart space. Feeling that head, mind, heart connection. And then also this awareness in your gut as well. This brain within your gut as well. Making the connection. Presencing your chakras, your entire energetic vibrational system. Let's also become aware of our environment, so what's around us, noticing how we relate to our environment right now, and that which is around us and that which is in our field. As we, place the next part into our field. So we're going to look at perfect timing. So let's bring in perfect timing. We're going to write perfect timing on a Post-it. Drawing that arrow. And let's place it in front of us. So placing your hand on perfect timing, let's bring that in. So getting the sense of perfect timing, feeling the energy of it, the information of it. And then you can also place your other hand on me Perhaps first just placing your hand on me. How does it feel to be in your shoes looking at perfect timing first? What do you see when you look at perfect timing, or what's the experience of it? You may be noticing like synchronistic events, or of the realization of, wow, that was perfect timing. So just notice how that occurs for you. And then we can place one hand on me and one hand on perfect timing. Let's connect with it. If there is the desire or the morphing of perfect timing into divine timing, you may add that or change that. I'm going to actually do that. So I'm just going to write divine and then put perfect in parentheses. Let's just see how that changes. If that's calling for you, placing my hand on divine perfect timing. Let's feel how I relate to that. What do I see? Noticing what you see when you look at divine perfect timing. Is there this connection to the unseen, connection to the universe through this divine perfect timing? How does that show up for you? Perhaps bringing it to you. So if there's a movement there, does divine perfect timing want to tell you anything? Any messages? Either way, is there an ask from you or a message from you, request to divine perfect timing? Feel the energy of this. There may be a receiving. From divine perfect timing to you, just receive that. And let's place divine perfect timing over here, or if there's another spot that it calls to you, please make that move. Let's put in, we're going to put in the part of me that procrastinates. The part of me that procrastinates, again with this arrow, that's the direction in which this part is facing. And let's place this part in front of me. And actually, let's feel that on top of me first. So placing this part of me that procrastinates on top of me. So let's feel that part actually operating, running the show. Perhaps this part sometimes takes over. How does that feel to have this part of you take over? You know, there may be a sensation of stuckness, being pulled back, being weighed down. Let's take this part off of us. So we're just gonna look at this part. So placing this part in front of us so that we can become aware of this part, seeing this part, bringing this part to our consciousness. So placing our hand on the part of me that procrastinates, let's feel into this part. Noticing what age this part is. You may be seeing more than one part. So noticing the age of this part. What is this part's movement? So there may be certain attributes, Perhaps this part is moving around, hiding. Just notice how this part shows up for you. Is this part looking for something? You may be noticing a certain event or certain events when this part first appeared, or over the years, or recent. And then we can place our other hand on me, just looking at this part, becoming aware of this part. And you can say to yourself or out loud, I see you. I see you now. See how this part responds. You can tell this part that they are a part of you. So you are a part of me. And I see you now. Bringing awareness to this part. See if there's anything that wants to be said in addition. Does this part want to say anything to you? And throughout this constellation, you can check back in with divine perfect timing. You may be feeling a support from divine perfect timing. The awareness of divine perfect timing, how does that support you? And let's bring in the next part. We're going to call it what this part needs from me. What this part needs from me. With that arrow up top. And we'll just place it right next to me. And let's just place our hand on this part, what this part needs from me first. And then we can move this part of me that procrastinates in front of it. And however this, feel into your field. Me may want to look over here. So however you have it, just notice the movement in your field. So what this part needs from me, placing your hand on this part. So bringing that into the field. You may be noticing this could be another part of you, a supportive part of you that shows up. What are the attributes of this part of you? And let's feel into also the part of me that procrastinates. So feeling into both of those at the same time. So what this part's needs from me and the part of me that procrastinates together. Having this part that procrastinates see what this part needs from me. And perhaps she's saying, or he or she is saying something. So give and receive that communication from these parts. And if it calls to you to give this part what she needs, this part that was procrastinating what she needs, let's go ahead and integrate. And let's go ahead and give this part what she needs. So you are giving this part what she needs. We can integrate by placing what this part needs from me underneath the part of me that procrastinates. And then we can integrate by placing your hand on both of those together. Feel that integrated. Feel yourself giving this part what he or she needs. And as we do that, notice the morphing of this part, the healing of this part. We're actually we're gonna change how we wrote this. So the part of me that procrastinates, let's actually just cross out that procrastinates. And you can actually give this part of you a new name. So maybe it's an age, or you can call this part something else. So write what that is for you. My inner child, or whatever this part showed up as. And then placing your hand back on this part, integrated with what he or she needs. How does this part feel now? And again, you can place your other hand on me becoming aware of this part, giving this part what he or she needs, being conscious and being aware of it, actively doing it, experiencing yourself, giving yourself what you need. See if there's any other messages, communication between you and this part. Also checking back in with divine perfect timing. Feeling the support of it. Awareness, support through awareness of divine perfect timing. And then we're gonna add one more thing here. And let's actually put inner support. So we'll write inner support here with an arrow and see what shows up for you, how inner support shows up. Placing inner support over here. Placing your hand on inner support first. This could be, again, parts that are showing up. So parts within you that are supportive. Could show up as attributes. It also could be like a feeling of connection. So connecting these parts, assisting these parts to get along and to integrate. And then we can feel into all three of these together, inner support, this part integrated with what it needs and me. And if there's further integration here, please do that. So let's see if this part of me, this one right here, can now integrate with me. If that's there for you, go ahead and place this part of me underneath me. And then we can feel into all of that together. Just for now, looking at your inner support and connecting to it by placing your hand on it. Welcoming this part back, feeling this part within you now integrated with what it needs. Feeling this support let's also feel into, again, divine perfect timing. Seeing if there's a movement there, wherever you have it in your field. And if there's a movement of inner support to also integrate with you, now that we've seen it and become aware of it, and before we integrate, see if there's any messages there or requests from you to your inner support. Can you make yourself known more? Can you support me with this? Communicate those messages or requests. And see how your inner support responds. Okay, and if there's the movement to integrate, please do that now. So placing inner support underneath me. And we'll integrate with all those inner parts. Noticing now within you, in your consciousness and in your body, noticing the awareness and the energy and the information that is now there for you and the support. So how's the experience of your consciousness and your body now? And then we'll feel back into divine perfect timing. It feels like, if this is right, it feels like for some of you, we can actually turn this to be beside you as a support in that way on your journey. And noticing how the journey now occurs to you with this divine perfect timing beside you. And for this last part, if there's anything else that you want to add to your field, please do. You could place an unknown in your field. So you could actually call it what would make a difference. You could call it unknown resource or just resource. You can actually just put an X on there and see what shows up for you as a resource or support. So I'm actually going to put resource. If you know what you want to put in, you can just write that out as well. I'm just going to place that. Feels like I'm just going to place that over here. Feeling into your own field. Again, feeling the movement, if there's any movement there. And if there's an integration with whatever you put in, you can do that as well. Integrating by placing that part underneath you. Okay, so we'll hear any last messages from the field. So tuning into if there's any messages the field wants you to receive right now. And those could be messages from your guides or any other support from the other side. Okay, I think we'll end this here. And as always, continuing to feel into this integration after the constellation. Again, you can leave these Post-its in a place where you can access them at any time. Also continuing to add parts to your field You can check back in with this today. So checking back in with divine perfect timing in me as well. All right, so let's take a few shares. If anyone share how that was for them? We'll just take a either chat or you can unmute yourself. And here we go. Kimberly says, I put divine and perfect timing behind me so that I could fall back into it. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Anyone else want to share?
Well, okay, it's Terrence. I'm just still thinking this one over, but what I put for what this part needs from me, I had put a little thought. I had no thought, no hesitation.
Got it.
Yeah, because I get caught in that loop. So, but I had another thought. Where did it go? Unknown source was no fear, and inner support was breathing, fun.
Got it. Very cool. How did that feel to integrate with all those, Terrence?
You know, I actually feel pretty good. I still feel, you know, it's not complete, but I actually think I have a little advanced, little more, I just feel a little more, I don't know even what the word is, a little more stable.
Good.
About that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.